Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. Our first one comes from Beautiful Risk 9202. Am I the beehole for telling my dad I won't lie to or trick my siblings, and his wife's crying won't change my mind? I'm a 15-year-old male, the oldest in my family, and I have 3 younger siblings, Ellie, a 13-year-old female, Noah, a 12-year-old female, and Cole, from a 10-year-old male. Our mom was deceased 6 years ago. Our dad remarried 3 years ago. My wife's dad is Kim. The day after my dad and Kim got married, they told us they wanted Kim to be able to adopt us in the near future. Kim said she couldn't wait to grow as our bonus mom. Well, I'll give her a little credit. She didn't say mom or try to replace your mom so far, and she said bonus mom. That's something. And she was excited to have 4 kids. She told Cole that she was determined to be the best mom he could think of because he wouldn't remember our birth He wouldn't remember our birth mother, and promised he wouldn't get to say he grew up never knowing a mother's love. She also told my sisters and I that she was here to be the best bonus mom, and we could still talk about our mom, but she really wanted us to give her a chance to be more than just the wicked old stepmother. It was a bit over a year later that my dad and Kim tried to get the adoption pushed through, but the judge wanted to do interviews with each of us kids, and before that we had to do 10 therapy sessions before these interviews could take place. It was very different than what I expected. I thought we'd simply be asked what we wanted, but it wasn't like that. We did the therapy and we spoke to the judge. Apparently all 4 of us said we didn't want Kim to adopt us, and my siblings told me they were asked if they ever called Kim mom, and they said no. Kim cried in front of the judge, and when he told my dad and Kim that he wasn't going to approve the adoption, Dad asked what had went wrong, and the judge told him it wasn't in our best interests. The next year was a crazy one. A lot of Kim being upset and trying to smother us with love so we'd love her back. Maybe some of my siblings love her. I don't really like her. See, you don't do that. You can't force these things. You gotta just let it happen naturally, or just not let it happen sometimes. That's just the way it plays out. And that started strongly from the moment she called my mom our birth mother, as she gave us up for adoption, instead of being unalive while we were kids. And Kim is also telling me that she felt like I wasn't fair, and without my birth mother, I didn't have a second legal parent, or whatever she meant. My dad would also say we're making their lives more difficult. Then, he and Kim also had a baby, and even after the baby, she didn't take her focus off of us, trying to win us and make us come around. Dad started talking to us individually, and asking if we agreed to be adopted if they tried again. Then the last month, he told me my siblings are copying me, and they don't want to look like they're betraying mom or me. He told me I needed to tell them I'm okay with them being adopted, and that I want them to be adopted. He also told me I need to pretend that I'd be adopted too if it came to that. I said no. Dad yelled at me. Kim cried the night, so I guess he told her what I said. Dad gave me a week and brought it up again, as well as Kim crying. And I told him I won't lie or trick my siblings. I don't care if Kim cries or not. I'm not going to make them accept Kim as their adopted mother. My dad told me I'm not thinking of my siblings at all. He also said Kim didn't deserve this. Am I the beehole? I feel like I've read this story before. I'm getting deja vu. And it's not like, oh, it's another wedding story. I feel like I've really done this before, but okay, I looked into the comments, and I kind of agree with Teeny Sod. Not the beehole. It might be worth reminding your father that you and your siblings were all asked individually about this, not as a group, which seems to make it clear that they have their own options. Sounds like Kim and your dad need therapy for being so obsessed about what is essentially a piece of paper, as you're living as a blended family anyway, and their manipulative behavior is very counterproductive. Stand your ground, and I hope you have another family member or trusted adult who can support you. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'd agree with that. I would say the same thing pretty much. She already has you guys as kids, and it's a piece of paper. I don't understand why people try to force adoption and say things like, oh, forget about your mother, I'm your mother now. Like, of course I'd be pissed too if someone was trying to erase my mother who, brought me into this world, or my father, you know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with the poster. Stand your ground, don't give in. OP, you're not the beehole. Our second one comes from Huge Hotel 2365. Am I the beehole for telling my husband that his daughter is stealing from him? My husband and I are married for 5 years, with no kids together, but he has a daughter. She is 17. Let's call her Donnie. Donnie lives with her mother mainly, but comes to us a lot. My husband has a business of his own with good profit. Time by time, we started noticing that the money in the house is getting less and less. Like, I count a pack and it's $5,000. For example, the next day it's $4,800, then 4.2, and then on and on. I notice that the amount magically shrinks whenever Donnie comes. To make sure I didn't change the place where we kept our money, I counted it very precisely before she arrived, and when she left, I counted again and $200 was missing. Now, the thing is, my husband thought the lady that comes to help us with cleaning every week is the one stealing because she's the only one who enters our house. He didn't doubt his daughter, and he wanted to fire her. So, I went to Donnie and confronted her about the money. She denied it at first, but then she said that the truth, that she indeed stole, but had already spent them, and she only had $400 left. I told her she has to tell her father the truth, because otherwise an innocent lady will be fired if she doesn't say the truth. However, she refused, saying that she can't hurt her image in front of her father. I told her if she doesn't say it, I will give her 1 week before the lady visits us. She did not come clean to her father, and my husband was positive it's the innocent lady no matter how much I tried to tell him otherwise. He wasn't convinced, cause to him, she's the only one who could do it. Oh man, he's snowed. I made a last call to Donnie, telling her that she either comes clean now, or I will do it. She didn't, so I just told my husband that Donnie did it. At first he didn't believe when he called Donnie. He noticed how her stories kept changing, and knew instantly that she had done it. The father and daughter fought, and Donnie never bothered to apologize. Well, of course she didn't apologize. She believes she's entitled to that money. She thinks she can steal. Man, she's probably gonna end up in jail as she gets older. Donnie then sent a lengthy text calling me horrible for outing her, for outing a thief. I hate. Don't you just love how people think they're never in the wrong and they're right, even though she's a thief? Her and destroying her relationship with her father. For anyone wondering, I don't know why she steals, even though my husband and her always give her allowance and never reject her requesting money. At least my husband never says no. I don't know about her mother. Yeah, you see that right there? That whole, oh, we'll just give her money no matter what? That spoiled her and she doesn't understand, the value of money. Growing up, my parents rarely gave me money unless it was for like birthday, Christmas. Maybe every once in a while they give us like $1 or $5, But your husband has spoiled her, and I think she's kind of screwed. She's what, 17, almost 18, then she can be out, she can do whatever she wants. Yeah, usually when people do stuff like that, steal and think they're entitled to things like that, when they're adults and they don't get it, they resort to, well, stealing bigger things and ending up in jail. I don't see a great future for that girl. I don't know what you guys can do. She needs to hit rock bottom, probably. But OP, you are not the beehole in this situation. I'm glad you told him. He needed to know that his daughter isn't perfect, and, let her keep taking advantage of you guys like that. And our final one comes from Watch for Glass. Am I the beehole for apologizing for my mom to a waitress? I, a 28-year-old female, went out to eat yesterday with my family and friends. There were 6 of us in total at our table. For some background, my mom, a 58-year-old female, has a tendency of complaining at every restaurant my husband and I choose, and we usually just ignore her. She always complains about the quality of food, too salty, or it's from a culture whose food is unfamiliar with. Oh, I hate people like that. I love to try new things. If you want to bring me some weird food, I'll try it. I'll try it as long as it's not like, an animal that I love. Back to it. Or the atmosphere. If it's not nice enough, decor-wise. No one ever agrees with her, and my husband and I came to the conclusion that she just thinks that complaining makes her look cool or something. Yesterday, we ate at a Vietnamese restaurant. Ooh, lucky man. Oh, have you noticed that every Asian culture has amazing food? I mean, most cultures have their good and bad food, but I don't think I've ever, I love Thai food, love Korean food, love Japanese food, love Chinese food. It's all good. Crazy, but back to it. A Vietnamese restaurant. And my mom immediately started making fun of this wait staff by mimicking their language that's messed up, when they would speak to each other. She thought it was hilarious, but I quietly told her that that's racist, and maybe that the wait staff could hear her. She brushed me off, but I could tell she was embarrassed. Because, even though I quietly corrected her, everyone could tell that I did. I guess because she was embarrassed, she started doubling down on her behavior to act like she was never wrong to begin with. A waitress came to take her drink that was empty and only had ice in it. My mom got upset at the waitress and loudly told her she wasn't finished with her drink and that she was waiting for the ice to melt. The waitress apologized to my mom and said that she could bring her another drink, but my mom wouldn't let it go. She continued to loudly complain about it, saying that the waitress needs to learn to ask before taking items from the table. Management came and brought my mom her new drink free of charge. Oh, I hate it. I hate it when places do that. It's just like a child. You don't reinforce the negative behavior like that, even though it's a grown woman who should know better than throwing a tantrum, but whatever. And apologized, and even after that, my mom still acted rude and complained. See, that's why you don't do that, because they're still going to be rude. And complained, saying that she wanted her melted ice to drink. I was so embarrassed by my mom that I apologized to the manager and waitress in front of her. My husband did as well. Now my mom is mad at me, saying that she did nothing wrong and that I embarrassed her in front of everyone by doing that. She said that if I felt that she did something wrong, I should have pulled her aside and left it up to her to apologize. Oh, screw her. Your mom sucks. She's giving me the cold shoulder, and I'm wondering if I should apologize to her. Am I the beehole? No, OP. No, you shouldn't apologize. Your mom was being a horrendous person. There's a reason why videos of like that, appear on the internet, and then that person gets their comeuppance. People are excited and satisfied because nobody likes a person like this. Personally, I don't know what happened with your dad, but if he saw behavior like this early, he should have never married her, because I wouldn't. I'm not going to marry someone who mistreats people, staff and all that. That's a huge red flag. Personally, if I were you guys, I would ditch her and just go enjoy some food without her, because it sounds like she just makes that environment and that situation a living hell. You know what I mean? You want to enjoy your food and be happy. It's a good thing when you get to go out and eat, especially nowadays because everything's super expensive. So, OP, I'm going to say you're not the beehole. You would be the beehole if you apologize to her. Don't you love that? Oh, take me aside and tell me I'm being atrocious. You tried that whole aside thing when nobody was looking, and she blew up at you and escalated things. So if you got her alone, I'd hate to see how she'd act when no one's watching or around. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me, and can you please do what I said in the beginning, and like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out, it helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.